السلام عليكم. أنا حابة أعرفكم بنفسي اليوم. أنا العنود الصباح. التحقت مؤخرا بدار الآثار الإسلامية، وأنا باحثة أكاديمية في الشؤون الصينية، وتشرفت بدعوة الشيخة حصة لأكون متحدث وعريف في الحفل اليوم. So I'm Al-Anwad Al-Sabah. I'm an academic researcher in Chinese affairs, and I have been honored to be asked by Sheikh Hassa to be the presenter and the usher of tonight's event. So, 大家好，欢迎帮忙教授来到 Dar al-Athar al-Islamiyya. So we're delighted to have Mr. Peng Feng, a professor of art theory and criticism and the dean of schools of arts, the director of the Academy of Opera at Beijing University. He was elected the vice president of International Association of Aesthetics in 2022. He has published 17 academic books and over 200 papers in Chinese and English. He recently published True Self and True Thing, Philosophy, East and West in 2023. He is a freelance art critic and curator of art exhibitions at international level. He has curated dozens of important art exhibitions, including the China Pavilion at the 54th International Art Exhibition of the Venice Biennale in 2011. He is a playwright and wrote over 10 plays for musical, drama, dance, and movies. Today, he will share with us the core concept of Chinese aesthetics, 意象, thinking image rather than beauty. Peng Feng, welcome. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much for giving me a chance to introduce traditional Chinese aesthetics. I wish I could come here early, and I wish I had a chance to see the collection early, and I can see more about the Islamic art, make more comparative studies between two traditional of the arts. But tonight I will focus on traditional Chinese aesthetics, and I will give a little bit comparative studies between two kind of art. So the topic of this talk is in Chinese aesthetics and the Islamic art. So what is aesthetics in Chinese? So aesthetics in Chinese means sense of the beautiful. So in Chinese, we pronunciation 美学. 美 means the beautiful or beauty. 学 means science. So literally means the sense of the beautiful. So normally, beauty is regarded as the basic concept of Chinese aesthetics. So people love beauty. But the situation in China is a little bit different. So I remember one famous scholar. His name is Li Zeho. He was very active in 1990s, 1980s, 1990s. He published a book. The name is 美的历程, Path of Beauty. It was the best-selling book in 1980s. Almost every student, college student, have one copy of this one. So this book charged the aesthetic crazy we call 美学热 aesthetic crazy in China in 1980s. So I was a student in that time. So I love this book very much. As its title suggests, the book is a study of the history of beauty in China. However, beauty discussed in Li Zehu's book does not mean a pleasant thing, does not mean things make people happy. we read of a strange kind of beauty, the ferocious, the horrible beauty. The objects of this strange beauty, such as the tautey designs and motifs on the bronze, they are not very pleasant. Actually, they are ugly, not very beautiful. Okay. So they are frightening, make people not very happy. So this kind of decoration actually is not really decoration. It's make people feel horrible. Okay. So he has one chapter focus on this bronze and focus on this, designs. So the beauty discussed by Li Zehe in his book is obviously used in its broad sense, not the narrow sense, which refers to all objects that can cause aesthetic experience. So aesthetic experience is not, not pleasant experience. There can be this kind of experience can have any kind of feelings, any kind of emotions. But what is aesthetic experience? So the aesthetic experience is any experience without interests. It's disinterested experience, without purpose. It's just the pure experience. So the broad sense of beauty is roughly equivalent to aesthetic object. Of course, there are also the narrow sense of beauty, which means present objects. So in China, the aesthetic object, so not only beautiful thing, but also some other kind of style, so including the very powerful, expressive things, even ugly. So this one is beautiful. That one is not quite beautiful. It's very, very, very powerful. Actually, it's human figures. It's immortal. It's painted by a Song Dalai artist. His name is Liang Kai. So Chinese people regard this one as 写意, very expressive painting. So if it's ugly, yeah. So if this one, yes. So if beauty is used in its narrow sense, that if beauty means a feature of objects that makes them pleasurable to be perceived, then it is indeed of little importance in Chinese aesthetics. Some of aestheticians have noticed that beauty is almost neglected in Chinese aesthetics. Even more, some artists argue that Chinese artists prefers ugliness to the beautiful, prefer ugly to the beautiful, like this one. And Fushan is a well-known artist in late Ming Dynasty and early Qing Dynasty. He thinks the good calligraphy should be ugly, should be not very beautiful. So this is his calligraphy. So some scholars argue that beauty is not the main concept of Chinese aesthetics. For example, this is Professor Ye Lang. He is a professor of Department of Philosophy at Peking University. He pointed out in his book on the history of Chinese aesthetics, published in 1985, this book, the first book about the history of Chinese aesthetics. He wrote, in traditional Chinese aesthetics, beauty is not the central category, nor is it the highest category. Beauty is far less important in traditional Chinese aesthetics than in Western aesthetics. The other example, Susan Bush, she is a scholar, and especially on the Chinese theory of painting. Now she is a professor of Harvard University. He published a book, The Early Chinese Texts on Painting. He translated the Chinese 画论, the Chinese theory of painting, into English. So in this book, almost published the same year with Yelan's book, Susan Bush and the other professor from Hong Kong, they also point out that in studying these translations, the reader will immediately notice that the concept of beauty does not figure in Chinese aesthetic concerns. Instead, what underlies all discussions about painters and paintings is vocabulary reflecting a Chinese system of natural philosophy. So what is the main concepts of the Chinese system of natural philosophy? It's not beauty, it's something else. So research of Chinese philosophy always explore the source of the vocabulary of Chinese philosophy in Book of Change, or in Chinese, I Ching. So in which they found that the concept related to aesthetics and the arts is xiang. Xiang, normally we translate this one into English as image. It's image, but actually it's not really image. I will say a little bit about the difference between xiang and image. As Susan Bush and Mr. Shi point out that the first of the vocabulary comes from the I Ching, Book of the Change. The character xiang varies translated into the context of painting as image, as representation, or as form. So this is xiang. But actually, xiang is not image. It can be phenomena. It's a real thing. So everything have its shape and have its image. So image is different from the shape. And also it's not only the representation, it's the real thing. So in addition, based on these concepts, we have the typical Chinese concepts of aesthetics. So in 2021 or 2022, published a new book. The book is a handbook for Chinese aesthetics and the philosophy of art. I contribute one chapter for this book. This one, Defining Mindscape, Extension, Intention, and Beyond. So this is my paper. For this book, we do not have a chapter on beauty. We have a chapter on image, on xiang, and we also have chapter on I Ching, and also have chapter on other concept. So the main concept of Chinese aesthetics is not beauty. It's an image. It's xiang, and it's it's an I Ching. Because Chinese philosophy is different from the Western philosophy. According to Chinese philosophy, the basic things on the world can be divided into three. We have the Dao, we have the Xiang, and we have the Qi. So if Dao can be spiritual things, Qi can be physical things, we have another thing in between, between the spiritual thing and between the material things. So this book, I love this book very much. And in Chinese name is Yi Fei Wei San. The one can be divided into three, not into two. So according to Western philosophy, everything can be divided into two. The spiritual thing and the physical thing, the mental thing, the physical thing, the abstract thing, the concrete thing. So this is only two. So although Xiang can be translated in the context of aesthetics as image, representation, or form, none of those translations can really capture its meaning. The character Xiang seems to be untranslatable and untranslatable. And the reason is that the Chinese ontological framework on which Xiang is based is different from the Western ontological framework, on which everything can be divided into two. So the ontological framework of Chinese philosophy is trifurcation that consists of Xiang, Dao, and the Qi. Well, the ontological framework of Western philosophy is a bifurcation. So the consists of two kinds of things, according to which entities are divided into mind-independent physical objects on the one hand, and the mental object on the other hand. So because the English is based on the Western philosophy, so they cannot find a word to translate the Xiang in between the spirit and the physical things. So this is spatial dimension of things in Chinese philosophy. The why this Xiang is very difficult for us to translate into English. So Xiang is the basic concept of Chinese aesthetics. On the basis of Xiang, the concept of Yi Xiang, Yi Jing, and Qi Yun. So Yi Xiang, so we can translate it into English as image, Yi Xiang as mindscape, Qi Yun as atmosphere. So the atmosphere is very important. So because the atmosphere can be something in between, into the space between the physical and between the mental things. So the atmosphere is based on the other important concept we call qi, we breathe. So breath can be physical power and can be mental power. So this one. And also xi. So this kind of concepts have been developed. Although the meanings of these concepts are not the same, they can be classified into a concept family. The concept family. And that is the family of concept of Chinese aesthetics. So the concept of Chinese aesthetics they are totally different from the Western. So Western, beautiful, sublime, or other kind of things. But in Chinese, it's Yi Xiang, Yi Jing, and Qi Yun is an image, is an mindscape, and it's an atmosphere. This scholar, this is a French scholar, he published a lot of books recently in French, and then the books are already translated into English and Chinese. He touched a lot of this kind of concepts. So I love, the books. So today I try to clarify what is xie and what is xie painting and what is xie calligraphy maybe. So this is a famous painting and painter. His name is Qi Baishi. So I would like to take Xi as the representative of the concept family. So this Qi Baishi, he used betweenness to characterize the Xi painting. It's betweenness, between. He said, painting is wonderful in between likeness and unlikeness, between likeness and unlikeness, between realistic and abstract. So not too realistic, not too abstract. Mere likeness is kitsch. It's not very good. The test is too low. It's not high. Well, unlikeness is deceit. It's unlikeness if you say unlikeness is a painting, it's deceit people. So between likeness and unlikeness, so what's the exact meaning of this kind of betweenness? So for us, it's easy for us to understand likeness. Likeness means a painting looks like its subject. So if we paint sunflower, looks like sunflower. What is unlikeness? If a painting looks unlike something, so we see which kind of thing on the painting. If a painting looks unlike anything, it means we can see its material, we can see its medium, we can see the paints, we can see the colors, we can see the lines. So between likeness and unlikeness actually means between image and the medium, between its image and its medium. So for example, so Qi Baishi's painting of shrines looks between the image of shrines and his brush and ink. So we can his brush and ink. We can see the shrine, and we can also see his calligraphy, his writing. So we can see both. But in traditional Western oil painting, you can only see the image. You cannot see the lines. So I use Roger Fry, a concept, the calligraph line and structure line, to clarify the betweenness. So in Xie painting, the view see both its subject and medium. In this sense, Xie painting is similar to what Roger Fry called the calligraph line, as opposed to the structure line. These two lines cause two kinds of aesthetic pleasure. The former is the pleasure of rhythmic sequence in the lines itself. The latter is the pleasant derived from the suggestion to the mind of plastic form. So give an example. For the drawing, actually you cannot see the line. You only see the cabbage. But in Qi Baishi's same cabbage, you see only the cabbage, but also his writing, but also his line. So why Chinese painters use this kind of way to do painting? Because the painting, they should do two things. One is show the image of the subject. The other one, they try to express the emotion of the artist. So it's both representative and expressive. So Xie painting or calligraph line are both representative and expressive. So Xie painting can be seen as representational painting and abstract calligraphy. So we can see the image of the lotus, and also we can see the calligraphy line. So this painting painted by Pan Gongkai, the former president of Hsinchu Academy of Fine Arts. So I love this painting very much because, it's very expressive. And he can do huge painting, like this one. It's a huge painting. And I show image, he is doing this painting, like this one. You can see, huge painting on the floor. Looks like Jackson Pollock painting, but actually it's not totally abstract. So we still can identify the subject, but also we can see we can touch his emotion. And very, very powerful to do painting, and also very carefully to do the painting, both way to do painting. And in Venice Biennale, and I created pavilion at Venice Biennale in 2011. So yesterday, so I introduced this one to the audience. So I invite this guy to make installation for me. This installation, we can get a smell of lotus, not only the image, but also the fragrances from the lotus. So, and this installation is very cold because we can see the snowing, this project. So, because I want the artworks, we not only be appreciated by our eyes, but also by our ears, but also by our skins, by our nose, by our tongues even. So in this exhibition, so people can, if you want, if you like it, you can take a cup of tea to drink and get a lot of smells and the cold. So this is also contemporary expression of 写意 experience, 写意 aesthetics. But we can find the relation between the contemporary artworks and the traditional Chinese art. The other example I want to show is a Ming Dynasty. His name is Xu Wei. Actually, he's genius. He's very good scholars, not only in make painting, but also in calligraphy, but also theater, but also poem, everything. So he's really genius, but not very. He did not have very good life. Okay. So he painted this painting we call ink grapes. So viewers can see not only the depicted grapes, the grapes, but also the ink and brushes. So between the ink and brushes and the grapes, or the calligraphy line with which the grapes were depicted. The ink and brush or the calligraphy line not only represents the grapes, but also express the artist's spatial emotion. We can guess which kind of emotion. And in his painting, in addition to the grapes depicted by the ink and brush, there are large area of blank space. This kind of blank space, nothing, which are not only the background of the grapes, but also a word for the viewer to depict anything with her imagination. We can fill the blank space with our imagination. We can paint anything in the blank space. So to give space for us to release our imagination. So I call this one not betweenness. This one's beyondness. This beyond the betweenness. So Chinese 写意 painting have two characters. One's betweenness, the other one's beyondness. So what is really beyondness? In the upper left space, blank space of the picture, Xu Wei wrote a poem. We can find a poem, and use his special, very ugly calligraphy, but very, his own calligraphy. Nobody can imitate even. the poems we can identify, even not easy. So, 半生落魄已成翁, after half a lifetime, frustration, not successful. I'm getting old. It's getting old. 独立书斋小晚风. I'm alone, only one person in my studio, crying at the wind. Crying at the wind. 碧地明珠无处卖. The precious paintings and calligraphies I made have no place to sell, nobody to buy them. The last one, 闲抛闲掷野藤中. I'm throwing them into the wide brushes for a relief and for a fun. So very touched poems. So from the 4 lines, we read the painter's tragic life and his philosophy of surviving. The meanings resonates between the poems, the calligraphy, the painting, and goes beyond the visible image of the grave into the life, the history, and even the universal that are invisible to us. This might be the beyondness of Yi Jing. When we look back at the visible image from the invisible meaning, we find that the leaves, the vines, and the fruits of the grapes is the water and ink, and the water and ink, just like the tears, the blood, the flesh spilled. We are struck by what we see and imagine, the visible and the invisible. This might be the power of the Xi art, so it can touch your deep feeling. So the beauty of Islamic art. So I wish I could visit the collection early, and I can make my study in details. Actually, I know very little about Islamic art. My limited knowledge of Islamic art most came from the book Islamic Art in China, this book. So as far as my limited knowledge is concerned, Islamic art is neither representation of external things nor the expression of the internal emotions, but the creation of beauty, especially the pure beauty of form, which is typically embodied in the decoration and the calligraphy. So this is my very limited knowledge about Islamic art. I hope I have chance to continue to do my research and to do comparative studies between Chinese art and Islamic art. So, however, the beauty embodied by Islamic art might be more than the feature of objects that make them pleasurable to perceive. There might be more important message behind the beautiful patterns. So why pursue the beautiful things, invest a lot of time and a lot of energy to do these beautiful things, not only for fun, not only for something make people happy, but for something else. To borrow a terms from Clive Bell's books the book title is art. So Islamic art has the significant form. What is significant form? So significant in this concept is, of course, is meaningful, but not only meaningful. Something heavy, something important, something beyond the present. So something very deep, profound. So we in Islamic art we can touch, we can have experience of something beyond the ordinary world. So the aesthetic emotions provoked by the significant form are similar to religious emotions. Clive Bell claims that all artists are religious. Art and religion were twin manifestations of something that, for convenience sake, may be called the religious spirit. Both Islamic and Chinese art are manifestations of the religious spirit because they both have pursuit of beyondness. Thank you very much. Thanks.